So here we go, Katie. Thanks for joining me. Folks, thanks for tuning in. Just to quickly timestamp and introduce myself. This is what now, July 9th, 2020, a nice Thursday day here in Chicagoland. And so happy to have Katie Franklin with me today from Smile Advantage. My name's Rex Plowman. As a reminder, I'm a partner at DDSmatch. I cover Northern Illinois and Chicagoland. And our group of tenured professionals in the dental industry, we focus on providing transition services to practice owners that are facing a future ownership transition with their practice. So we focus on practice sales, associate placements, and the formulation of partnerships, amongst other things. And without further ado, I'd love to introduce Katie Franklin, Director of Development with Smile Advantage, with some awesome and unique services that they've been providing to the dental industry. Katie, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you, Rex. It's an honor to be doing this with you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, you bet. You know, I was thinking about a couple things as we were preparing for this Zoom recording. Two thoughts. One, I wish I would have bought Zoom stock like 4 months ago.
Right, I know.
Seriously. And missed that one, like, you know, thousands of other opportunities, right, that have hit and we've missed it. And then secondly, I really enjoy the fact that my cologne choice doesn't matter.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like I've been living on Zoom as well, and I joke with my friends that, you know, unlike my live presentations that I'm used to doing, it's nice to be able to have, you know, a nice top on and yoga pants because nobody even knows.
Yeah, I'm hiding Bermuda shorts here underneath this blue shirt.
Oh, it's so funny. The new times that we're living in.
Yeah, and you know, it's summertime here in Chicago. The heat index is way up, right? The summer just kind of showed up for us like 4 weeks ago and hasn't left. So very pleasant outdoors, no doubt. And I'm so sorry, Katie, we tried to pull off an event together here in Chicago, and then just a couple minor things happened, right? A little COVID pandemic, little corresponding economic shutdown, and then, you know, minor social unrest going on across this great country of ours.
Right.
So, hey, Katie, let's get into it here. So tell me a little bit about your background, your time in dentistry, et cetera, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So I actually was an office manager in a small private practice in St. Louis, Missouri. And I managed the practice for about 4 years. And during my time as the office manager, I actually brought the idea of an office membership to my doctor and told him I thought it was a great idea. He got super excited about it, and I helped him to start the Smile Advantage membership program for his practice, which together he and I started about 6 years ago.
Fantastic. And how has that gone here, bringing through your services to the market?
It's gone really, really well. You know, we are an industry leader. We've been around for a while, so our name is definitely out there. And I would say every year, the concept of in-office membership just becomes more and more prevalent. And because of that, we have found that from year to year, our program just continues to grow. And so it's been really exciting to kind of be part of that since the very beginning. It's fun for me when I'm working with offices to be able to share with them that I've been in their shoes. I've been on both sides of the fence. I've been in a practice implementing a program, and now I'm going around the nation helping other practices to do this, you know, the very same thing. So it's been really cool for me. I'm super passionate about what I do, and it just makes me so happy to see other practices see success from being able to offer this model of care to their patients.
That's awesome. So what do you think really, you know, helped to really bring about the services that you provide, the programs that you provide, and the demand? What is driving that, you think, the success?
What's driving the success is just all of the changes that just the profession of dentistry has seen, and all of the challenges that dentists are up against in dealing with dental insurance, challenges not only for the dentist, but also challenges for the patients. And more patients are finding themselves without dental insurance. And because of the high costs associated with dentistry, a lot of times patients avoid going to the dentist for the simple fact of they have no coverage and they can't afford the out-of-pocket fees. So the membership model has really allowed dentists to regain control of their practices. They're able to set the fees where they want. They're able to deliver the treatment to their patients that the patients need and deserve. And it's an affordable option for the patients, unlike, all of the expense and limitations that they're up against when dealing with traditional insurance.
Yeah, it doesn't take long when you're talking to a dentist to hear about some of their biggest challenges, and like the first thing out of their mouth, like, you're on Family Feud and what's the first thing that rolls out? It's usually the insurance companies, right? That are just a thorn in their side,
Definitely a struggle.
No doubt. And so what are you hearing these days with doctors as they're trying to get their practices up to speed coming out of, the crises that we've experienced?
Well, what I can tell you is that, prior to COVID-19, any CE course that you would sit in on, you would hear dental consultants tell you that membership programs were a competitive edge and that dentists were really missing out if they didn't have a program in place. Now we fast forward, we're in the midst of a global pandemic, and we're finding that millions of people have lost their jobs, and with that has come the loss of benefits. So that increasing number of the uninsured patients is continuing to grow. And because of the economic downturn, patients are more resistant now than ever to spend the money to go to the dentist. And so we're finding that membership programs are a vital component of any dental practice now, as a way to not only retain the patients that they do have and be able to offer their patients who have lost their jobs and who have lost their insurance another model to turn to, but it's also been a great opportunity for these dental practices to open their doors to the community and to let the people in the community know that this membership model exists and that patients don't need insurance to be able to afford to go to the dentist. So it's becoming a must-have in any dental practice now, in the midst of everything that we're dealing with.
Yeah, no doubt. And I feel for the practice owner every day, really, pre-COVID and today. There's such a burden on their back to run the business and be the key operator in the business at the same time. And then, you throw all of this stuff that we've never experienced before. And, patients have always been the number one asset of practices, right? And then it's, figuring out efficiencies and productions around the patients that are coming through the door. So I'm working with a seller right now. And this is like a great case study. He's got a fee-for-service practice down the road. He's looking to sell the practice. And so he's working out a network with folks with their insurances or cash. And he's also got an established membership program that he's had going for like 5 or 6 years. And he kind of developed it on his own. And he's got his own little microsite for it. And what I'm finding with the buyers that are coming in there that are interested in his practice is that really intrigues them. And they want to know how far that goes into his practice, how many patients are in there versus, the other out-of-network stuff. So I find that really interesting. What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's great that he has a well-established program. And yeah, I'm sure that the buyers that are looking at his practice are very attracted to that model that he already has well established. Just with insurance being the struggle that it is, I firmly believe that any potential buyer that is looking to acquire a new practice is going to be much more excited to hear about an established membership program that, can help with patient retention. It can help with motivating patients to do more treatment. It can even be a great way to attract new patients to the practice and establish a larger patient base of fee-for-service patients. So with all of those positive things kind of surrounded by the membership concept, buyers, they're going to be excited about that. And it's going to be much more attractive to them to hear about that than when the dentist or the selling dentist hands over a list of the 20 PPOs that they're in network with. Because, again, more and more dentists are finding that, it's actually costing them money to be in network with the insurance companies. And so they're trying to find creative ways to reposition their practices to remain successful. And one of the ways that they can do that is by way of the membership program. So yeah, I hear that all the time. We work with a lot of acquisitions, and, these young buyers are very, very excited and very much wanting the membership program as part of their practice.
Yeah, that's great to hear, and that's exactly what's going on with this guy down the road. And you guys are coast to coast, right?
We are, yes.
Do you do any work in Canada? I never asked before.
We actually do. Yeah,
Oh,
we have
all right.
stuff in Canada. Yep.
All right, in the territories of Canada as well. That's awesome. And where are you seeing the most activity right now with dental practices?
Oh gosh, I have interest coming in from all over. I was out on the East Coast right before this pandemic started. So being out there has really generated a lot of interest from some of the East Coast states. But I'll tell you one area that I'm getting a lot of interest from right now is the state of California. And, I work closely with the PPO negotiation company, and they've been filling me in on all of the changes that Delta Dental is making in the state of California and all of the drastic fee decreases. And so because of that, I think, not only are dentists being prepared to have their fees decreased, but they're also, again, in the midst of a pandemic. So because of that, it seems like a lot of California docs are, looking for and wanting to learn more about the Smile Advantage membership program.
Yeah, sounds like a terrific option, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What does onboarding look like to get into your program?
So it's super simple. Basically, we start with what we call a customization process, where we work together with the dentist or the office manager to basically design a custom program that they would like to offer within their practice. And, of course, we give them suggestions and recommendations. We have an equation that helps them to kind of play around with their master fees when determining what to charge for the membership. But we work through that customization phase. Once we've gathered the information from them, our marketing team puts together all of their marketing materials. And once they approve everything, we print and ship all those materials to the practice. We do have a tracking software. We have a cloud-based tracking software that makes for the administration and management of a program super streamlined, which offices appreciate. So we get the software up and going, we get it installed on their computers. One thing that's awesome about it is that it will integrate into any of their practice management softwares that they're using. So once that's in place, then we do a team training, and we basically review with the entire team the overall details of the program, and we show them and suggest to them how they can present it to their patients. We discuss internal and external marketing strategies. And then we also show them how to use the software and how to easily track the members. So the whole process can be done in about 2 weeks. We do work at the doctor's pace, so sometimes it takes a little longer than that, but the ones that are super eager, it can all be up and going within 2 weeks.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What is like a basic program when you're at the end of that and you've kind of figured out some parameters with a doctor? What does that kind of look like, the basics?
So most dentists that we work with will usually have like 3 different plans that they offer to their patients. And those 3 plans that we typically see are child, adult, and perio. Typically, the preventive care services are included. And then in addition, most offices are allowing these member patients to receive some sort of an additional discount on treatment. Typically, that discount percentage ranges from 10 to 20%. Again, prior to COVID, about 80% of the offices that we worked with would basically set this up as an annual subscription. But now, again, because of the economic downturn, more and more practices are starting to offer patients the option to pay monthly as well. And again, the tracking software that we provide is able to manage either way for the practices.
Sure. That's great. I can't wait for people to get involved here, because I know it's going to be a terrific program today and moving forward for dental practices. And there's so much talk around the fact that folks unfortunately might be losing their jobs, hopefully just temporarily, but when they do, right, those insurance benefits go away. So hence a membership program to really keep sustaining that partnership with patients.
Absolutely, yeah. And with open enrollment being right around the corner, rumor has it that more and more employers are looking to drop the dental benefits come the end of 2020. So I think the number of uninsured is going to continue to skyrocket. So, this fall, as patients are considering their options for 2021, having a well-established membership program in place is going to be to any doctor's benefit.
Yeah, that sounds terrific. At DDSmatch, we're often working, well, this is really our forte. We're working with folks transitioning from the seller into the buyer, and the buyer generally, oftentimes, I should say, not generally, but oftentimes they're taking over a practice that in the business bell curve, usually is on a downward trend.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor's been kind of, taking a day off here and there, cutting down their hours. And so do the collections, they're going down a little bit. And so oftentimes buyers are, taking over the seats of an owner's place, and they need to really kind of rejuvenate and kind of energize the practice with new patients. Seems like this would be a great option for them. And who else might be a great candidate as well, Katie, if you don't mind commenting?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I get asked this question a lot. I go around doing my presentation across the nation, and I have offices say to me, who's a good candidate for offering a membership program? I'm a fee-for-service doc, or I'm a PPO doc, or I'm a new doctor, or I'm a retiring doctor. Does this program make sense for me? And the honest to God answer is that no matter the dynamic of a practice, any doctor can benefit from having this model in place. And it has proven, in the last 6 years that we've been doing what we do, we have seen a lot of success across many practices, and like I mentioned, it's great for retention, case acceptance, new patients. In the practice where I came from, we generated a new revenue of $330,000 in our first 18 months from having our membership program. So definitely a lot of potential. I will tell you that probably the group of doctors that I get the most resistance from are the sellers, the ones that are looking to sell their practices within the next 2 to 5 years. They'll tell me that they're tired, that their team is checked out, that they wish they would have met me 5 years ago because they would have been all over this concept. And I always stop them and remind them that it's never too late to start something great. And I tell them, if you can get this program in place now, and you can basically create a loyalty program of fee-for-service patients, and you can increase your practice profitability, you don't have to worry about collections with your membership patients. Your practice has the potential of appraising at a much higher value if you get this program in place now. Whereas if you just remain status quo and you're kind of checked out, you're probably not going to get the value of what you were hoping for, with your practice. So I always remind them that it's definitely beneficial to consider doing something like this, even towards the end. And then it goes back to the fact that those potential buyers are also going to appreciate that this concept is already in place. And I know, Rex, DDSmatch, we work very closely with them. And I know that one of the things that you guys are always doing is you're always trying to help sellers position their practices to basically maximize the wealth of the practice as they do look to sell it. And I think this, the membership concept is just one way in which we can encourage them to do that. But I know you have, many other suggestions that you can offer them as well.
Yeah, no doubt. And you kind of hit it spot on. We really encourage folks, the practice owners and those that are thinking about their future transition options to try and stay ahead of those plans, right? And not just say, hey, today is the day I want to sell, now let's get that organized. We really want to work with folks when they're 3 to 5 years out and talk to them about maximizing the wealth of their practice and what can they do to really build up that foundation, strengthen the foundation of their business so it's more attractive on the backside. And obviously they earn more from all the hard work and years that they put into these practices. We've actually launched a program, Katie, it's called Practice Optimizer Experience, just for these folks, really, whether they're 2 years out or 10 years out. We put this program together, this Practice Optimizer Experience, to help serve them in so many different ways to really build up the foundation and wealth of their practice before they're ready to exit. It starts with evaluation, and we work with our local experts, attorneys for estate planning. We work with Dr. Charles Blair's consultative firm to put together a clinical analysis of the business. So we're talking about estate preparedness. We're talking about clinical optimizing all the procedures done in the practice and finding some spots where they can develop the business. We'll take time with a financial planner as well to see where they sit with their retirement funds and how far they need to go to really be comfortable in retirement years with the dollars that they've set aside. And there's so much more involved in this package, which results in, at the end, doing another valuation to hopefully see that their business has really grown in this time we've worked together with this package. And now they really have something special to offer the market. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great little program that we just instituted last year. We were just getting it off the ground before the old COVID hit. And we look to get that back out there as things stabilize in the marketplace. And it's really awesome to hear that, you know, I've been kind of keeping up with all the different webinars and these Zoom recordings that are going on out there, Katie, where we're talking about really the progress of dentistry coming out of this COVID crisis, economic shutdown and social unrest. And dentistry really is like the star right now of all the markets in the US, with really recovering quickly. So that's really great to see. And you know, acquisitions are starting to pick up. Lenders are getting more comfortable in the marketplace with what's going on. We're certainly getting more creative with acquisitions right now because production has been so truly affected by this COVID crisis. But acquisitions are occurring. Folks are feeling good about what they have going on in their business with recovery. How are you feeling about the dental industry, Katie, as we move forward?
Well, you know, I'll say, you know, ever since starting off in the dental industry, you know, I've recognized that our profession is one that's constantly evolving, constantly changing. You know, kind of like what I was saying in the beginning, you know, insurance is a tough game, and it, you know, there's a lot of rules and it's really hard to understand. So I don't think insurance is going away. I do think it's going to continue to get more and more challenging to work with insurance. And I think this membership model, as I mentioned, you know, I've been doing it for 6 years now, and every year we get busier and busier. And I'd like to hope that that's the trend that we see continues. Because yeah, I think a lot of doctors are going to start to realize that, you know, they need to position themselves and they need to position their practices and shift away from being so insurance dependent, but that can be a scary thing to do. And so I think that's where this membership concept can, you know, kind of be their saving grace. You know, they have something to transition their patients to if and when they do start to drop out of some of those insurances. So I'm excited. I'm super excited for the future. And, you know, like I said, I love what I do. And I think my experience being in a practice and now being the program director of this company goes a long way. And I love being able to offer my, you know, expertise and advice to other practices to, you know, help them see that same kind of success that I was able to help my practice see 6 years ago.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. We've both spent, you know, so long in dentistry. I was just joking with somebody today. I'm really like in my 34th or 35th year in dentistry. I started like when I was in high school. And I never thought I'd be one of those guys that I used to look at and be like, wow, how have you been in dentistry this long? And now that's like me. But dentistry is awesome. It's been such a great marketplace ever since I can remember, you know, the first days of getting into the industry. And here it is, still prospering for sure, and will in the future. And Katie, I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough.
Likewise.
Yeah, I appreciate you getting on and sharing the Smile Advantage story and your story as well. No doubt you guys are going to continue to do great things for our practice owners out there. I thank everybody for tuning in whenever you have tuned in to listen to us in this recording. We're going to leave a slide up for Katie and I to share our contact information, so you can ask us any questions you might have or inquire about our services. And thank you so much for tuning in. This is 613 Studios tuning out. Hope to see you all soon.